Go to the vet today, people. Let's go. Come on. The only thing more expensive than these dogs, people, is taking care of them. Part of our morning routine here is coming out, Wizzy washing the backyard, making sure that the dogs have a safe environment to have some fun in, spend some time outdoors. We've already discussed the importance of vitamin D in other episodes. Ego's one of those dogs that worries me. I want to make sure that we're clear here when we're putting out information. I could truly care less what anybody does with their dogs. That's the truth. I don't care or give a shit what you think about my dogs. I'm not asking anybody to judge me or what we're trying to achieve here, but here's the thing. I think it's important, as I said, for us to take you down that road and with our journey and what you can do to better the process, because it's a frightening thing when you can't ask your dog, hey, what's wrong with you, man? Ego, to me, been showing some signs of slowness, just energy a little off, a little more tired than I think he should be. Doctor did the check. It's about $150, 67 to do a heartworm test. They'll outsource it, but they have the resources in the house. So anytime the vet asks you this question here, hey, did you want us to run it here or ship it out? I said, what's the difference? Well, you'll get it here in 15 minutes. Now, shout out to Dr. Barnett. She's a great vet, and she's super communicative. So I appreciate her always just keeping it 100, if you'd say. And so much so when she came in, she said, well, he seems fine. His heart feels good, sounds good. Everything feels good. I mean, he's strong. She said, did they do the in-house or outhouse? And I said, well, they said they was going to do it in. She says, I said, what's the difference? Because the technicians, they must have some sales thing set up. They get you to sign up or do something in-house, they get a little bonus. Because she goes, well, if they didn't punch it yet, then we'll just outsource it. It's cheaper. I said, okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter. They was like, boom. She's like, oh, they already did it. I said, don't worry about it. So I'd imagine it's $30 and they'll get it back to you tomorrow. Now, the problem is Eagle got a lot of work to do today. But when you just go back and you reassess, you said, man, he hasn't been doing a lot of his cardio. Normally the boy walks about a mile or two, and that's not been the case since we've had the puppies, unfortunately. So we're about to get him in there with the pups, get them out here. Wizzy Wash normally needs to hit the grass and be on it for about 3 minutes for it to be successful. Our job here with Fit Bully TV is to, again, enlighten, motivate, inspire those people who are trying to better the breed and better their dogs. Along the way, you won't ever hear me say, you got to do this or you should do that. I don't care what you do. I do care about my dogs and my dogs only, and that's the truth. But I think it's important to try to highlight our journey and give you guys something to watch and stay tuned about. So, this A-frame, for instance, is an A-frame we had in there when the pups were 4 and 5 weeks old. We built a little bit bigger one. It's a little bit more complicated to get out. This right here is Gorilla Grass, I believe. That's what you call it. Mm-hmm. And then we've got this little unique ladder. I told you, Marcus, let's try to figure out how to build a little ladder. Get the dogs up here and then get them thinking about how to get down and get up. More than likely, I'll find something where we can extend this out and build a bridge. The bridge might come via way of tires. Goal this week is to go and get about 30 tires or so from Texas Tire. We got a buddy who owns it, and he said all we have to do is come and pick up the old tires. This episode is about going to that vet. The vet probably never gets tired of seeing you. And depending on what state or country you're in right now, I'll say state, challenges is there are vets shutting down. So much so that even where my buddy Ruben is at, he said, Trevor, I called and they're down for about a month or two. So there's nowhere for him, thank God he knows how to do everything, to take his dogs. So you go, sheesh. So where I was going to stay away from medicine because I have no trouble paying and affording the bills to take care of the dogs, I had to go get the plumber's book so I could learn and start learning how to do this medicine thing and solve for problems, but even more important, prevent them. Because if that's the state of the environment, I got to make sure my dogs are always good. So we have a medicine connect, and we got some other things. But the vet people, you know, it gets expensive. They got like 7-8 dogs in there that we manage it on. So we're gonna show you that vet bill here soon. This is the side of the house that we have treated for almost 2 months, where we put new things. We're gonna build some more stuff. We're gonna dig a hole. Here, come look at these flies. This must be the fly capital of the world. Cause I don't even, it's not enough water in this. I'm gonna just sprinkle a bit. You want to fill this thing up with at least right here. These fill lines right there. Maybe it evaporated too because of the sun. That's probably what happened. But this thing right here is pretty decent little fly catch. Here at one time looked like there's about 100 flies out here. When you're Wizzy washing, I'll show you a trick here. Oh man. This thing right here, your water isn't necessarily going to come out if you do it this way, meaning like it's not going to hit the Wizzy wash. So I always hold it upside down whenever I'm Wizzy washing, because it sits right at the top, and slowly but surely you'll see that thing wear the top down. Now mind you, you can smell the bleach coming off this thing, so you need to let this run for about 30 seconds, especially, and don't let it hit your clothes, and then start hitting your areas, because you want to dilute it some. It smells like some chlorophene, what's it called? Chlorine, that's what it is. I don't swim a lot, you know how black people are. So take this thing off here, always take it apart, because this stuff will calcify. Take it apart every time. I literally just work it backwards. See that whiteness coming out? That's all bleach. If that touches your clothes, people, it will turn your clothes a different color. I know, because I got some different color shirts. I'll let it dry out here for about 5 minutes, and we put everything up. You see where it clearly, we leave it every day. I Wizzy wash at least once a day. Take the top off, because again, this stuff calcifies. See that right there? You want that to take place. If you just leave it up like this when you're Wizzy washing, it'll take forever for that to get down, which in my opinion lets you know that it's not being utilized. But you want that. I'll flip it upside down, make sure there's no water in there. Next thing you know, shut this. And then in about 10 minutes or so, we'll bring the pups out. Stay tuned, people. Thank you for watching Fit Bully TV so far. So I'm getting ready to prepare some more food. Check this out here. This is bone marrow from literally bone marrow, and I let this stuff sit overnight, cooled off. I don't know that I like the type of broth that it created, so I'm probably gonna trash this and just use the neck bones that I have. We've got the oven at 400. I repeat, you want to go to my dog tools. That's why I dropped a lot of information on this YouTube moving forward. All we're gonna be doing is showing you how we take care of our dogs. But there's a brand inside of your stores called Roomba, I believe, and it literally, you know, tripe and bone marrows. It's a Hispanic brand of stuff. You can go to your Mexican meat markets. I'm throwing this stuff in the trash. Pull out the neck bones I got. Meat bone stock we talked about already. It literally gives your dogs, it helps with absorption of nutrients when it comes to a dog. That stuff that you saw at the top, it's not just fat, it's collagen. So we're gonna rinse this out. And then prepare to make some more food. What do you guys think your dogs need most? You know, people say they like the dog food, Victor, Taste of the Wild. Things they've been doing for years. I've done videos on those things. It ain't worth fucking up your dog. You want to go to the vet even more? Keep messing with that junk. So another statement that someone made is, you know, and I gotta be honest. And tell you that it bothered me. And most comments don't bother me, because I don't care what you think about me, but here's the thing. I hate uneducated people. And I repeat, I hate uneducated people. And education and uneducated doesn't mean you're stupid. Uneducated people are the ones who got so much to say but ain't picked up one book. And here's the thing. I put up a video about us cooking our food. And he says, please tell people the truth. That the dog needs 80% muscle meat, 10% bone, and 10% organs. And so I'm reading the books, and if you watch the other video that we did about how bones are even formed, osteoblasts, osteoclasts, bone formation, it literally says in the book the dog needs polysaccharides for the matrix. It's so that in the matrix, the bones can basically form and stay relatively solid. So you go, I understand that the dogs lack the ability to produce amylase in high quantities, but they do produce some because they don't have fermentation tanks to break down cellulose, aka carbohydrates, and various other things. When we're cooking our quinoa, we have to let it soak for 2 hours. So that what happens? You want to get rid of that, I think it's called phytoacid, and that right there allows for more mineral absorption and utilization. Otherwise, that phytic acid or phytoacid, one of the others, binds and prevents even us humans from being able to absorb the minerals that we need. And there's magnesium, and 30% of our recommended daily intake you can get from quinoa. Again, if you wash the carb, wash the starch off per se, but really it's just phytic acid, and you see it form and sit at the top of your water. But it troubled me because I believe in and agree with the raw diet. These dogs get raw stuff in their meals all the time. Here's a challenge. We've changed dogs' genetics, so now that true carnivores, and they keep talking about the wild. Your Corgi's not in the wild. Your Dutchess and Hound's not in the wild. Your Golden Doodle is not in the wild. The Great Irish Wolfhound anymore is not in the wild. Your Golden Retriever, Lassie, Border Collies, they're not in the wild. Which is why so much dog food's sold and bought. So let's not pretend like if you left your dog in the wild, it would even know what to do. It would die. And you know what it would do? It would migrate. It would migrate to an area populated with people. Here, I gotta answer this. We'll get back to this in a second. So it would migrate and come close to people, and it would scavenge, just like that movie. You remember that movie we were kids? What's it called? Lady in the Trizamp. What did he do? I think he was a Scottish Terrier. He didn't go and look for, oh, I'm about to go kill me some prey. Because it's not realistic. What is he going to do? He's going to find some people. They say if you feed a cat every day or you feed a dog, what does he do? He comes back every day. Because dogs don't have that killer instinct in them. You almost realistically have to train it. So I don't know why people keep pretending like the dog is a true carnivore. The only true carnivore beyond a reasonable doubt is a cat. A cat is the only true carnivore. A dog is not. We've changed them too much. So, with that being said, I'm going to use these instead. Start here. And I'm actually going to have to pause on some of the cooking, so you'll see that in another episode, because I got to soak the quinoa, these 2 cups of quinoa for all this meat that we're cooking. But point is, people keep pretending like the dogs really are true carnivores, and they're not. They're more omnivorous, and they live a lot longer when there's a combination of things that go into their meals. Now, I'm not telling you the dog needs rice and oatmeal and all this stuff. No, oats, only glycemic index, boom, 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 wop, 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 bang, bang, pow. The dog needs a great amount of omega-3s, so we use sardines, canned oysters. I don't even know where my canned oysters are. Might be another thing. The dogs have had a great morning. People don't agree with crate training. They got to crate train some. They got to do a little crate training. It's important. And we're going to talk a little bit about why we do that on our page, and even in detail how it is applicable on mydogtools.com. Let's go in here and see the puppies, and then that's going to be it for this morning's episode. We went to the vet. We got Ego checked out. Technically, look, there was an appointment with Zara. They were like, yo, how's her ears? I was like, she's at home. We're literally in the garage. And as you know, we started from the bottom and we'll be somewhere else in the future. I told you in another episode, get you a little rag here. A guy made another good point. Get you a little $15 blanket. Chop it up in squares. Start putting it in there so the dogs can poop or pee in it. Well, not so they can, but in case you miss one of those pee or poo-poo moments, you get some of that, chop it up, give them a little square to lay on as you work through their process. God said, hey, go to the Goodwill. I said, I like that. Goodwill, get you some of those old blankets. Of course, wash them. You don't know what them jokers have all kinds of stuff on them. But this is what we do every day. We shoot, we edit, we work with our dogs, These pups will go outside. My pups will go out in a little bit. I'll take her out, leave her out for 30 minutes, bring her back in. I got to clean her cage because I only took Bam Bam with me this morning. Guys, you don't want to be helpless. You want to be able to protect your dogs by being informed. I hate being helpless, and I buy all the books. I buy the books so I can have the facts and as much information as possible. Like, subscribe, share. T-Fit, Fit Bully TV. Signing off.